So today's unscientific experiment is going to be putting the decibel meter on the Everse 8 compared to the Everse 12. Now, these are both set at basically flat where they would be. And I've got them on the board there, and I'll be raising it up to the point of just when the limits are starting to flicker on. So they've got a little bit more that I could be pushing, but this is what I wanted to basically do, is get them to that point where they're both limiting on. The interesting thing is on the board, as I have them on the two channels, as I push the gain up, the Everse 8 will click on or start to give it me, like, you'll get two flashes of the limit for every one you get over here, because it's just a little bit quicker to turn that on, because it's maybe an 8-inch or however the protection is compared to a 12-inch here with the Everse 12. So let's take a look at that. Now, what's going to end up happening is we're going to be doing this without any audio of the music, because if I played the music I was playing when doing this test, it would be blocked. So we're taking a look right now. We're looking at the Everse 8, and you'll see that it bounced up to 119 in here. I don't know how that happened, but it was ranging somewhere between 115 and 117 as we're going back and forth. Now we're going to jump over to the Everse 12, and you're going to see that it's pretty close to about the same output according to my little unscientific decibel reader here. I'm only about 8 to 10, 12 inches away from the speaker, so it's not a huge jump, but it's giving you an idea that they're actually somewhat signal-wise very similar when it comes to them giving you the power of the output. Now, the big difference is the bass output. There's more bass coming out of the 12 compared to the 10. And what we're going to do in this next little clip here is we're going to actually go, and I'm going to put a 100 hertz tone into both of them. The volume is going to be perfectly the same for both speakers. There's not going to be any boosting or anything. They're going to be flat. And I want you to hear the difference of what that 100 hertz tone sounds like coming from the two speakers. So let's jump into that next. So the 100 hertz tone sounded very similar, but there was definitely a difference, especially if you're behind the speakers, that the 8 didn't seem to have the output from behind the speakers for sure. When I was in front of the speakers, they sounded very similar. Maybe there was a nod to the 12. Now we're going to take that down to an 80 hertz tone, and let's see the difference between the two. So at 80, you could definitely tell the difference. And again, I don't know what is coming through on the phone. I'm not modifying those sounds whatsoever. So maybe even the phone won't even pick it up. But there was definitely a difference. You were getting about twice the volume at an 80 hertz signal from the 12 compared to the 8. You could hear it in both of them. And it obviously could be boosted or pushed more. You'd hear more of it. But they're at the same volume, and I wanted to compare it that way. And you're getting almost twice on the 12 compared to the 8. So let's go the other direction. Let's go up to 120 hertz, which was kind of a sweet crossover point we found when we were putting subs below the Everse 8. Let's see what it does with the two at 120 hertz. So that was actually kind of interesting. At 120 hertz, the same input going into both speakers, you had a couple of decibels louder on the Everse 8, which is kind of interesting. I didn't expect that. For the ear, you really couldn't detect that, but the little meter was saying that there was definitely a difference. You hit 100 over here, and we were kind of 98, 97, 98, 99 over here. So very similar. I probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference, being only 1 decibel difference, but it is part of our unscientific test here today, comparing the Everse to the Everse 8 to the 12. Yeah. We're going to put some subs onto these. We're going to be putting some actual music to it so you can listen to that and hear the voicing between the two, and give you an idea of if it's worth investing in the 12 if you've already got the 8, or if you have to choose between the two, which one would be the best fit for your application. So this is John Young for the Disc Jockey News. Thank you for watching.